Since its establishment, the prestigious Lagos Lawn Tennis Club has become synonymous with providing the best of recreation facilities for discerning Nigerians who desire the most conducive environment to unwind. Parading distinguished members who are big players in varied sectors of the nation's economy, the Lagos Lawn Tennis Club has over the years maintained its reputation as arguably the best sporting recreation club in the whole of Nigeria. And ahead of its annual general meeting, which was held on the 30th of May 2014, the club recently put together a very exciting billiards and snooker competition for members. In years past, the Lagos Lawn Tennis Club has organized different competitions in the game of lawn tennis and squash. But the introduction of the billiards and snooker competition has further raised the already high profile of the club to another level. 2 sessions of snooker games was played in a grueling but exciting 2-hour duration, during which every member was glued to their seats while it lasted. The last round of the competition was a game involving Barrister Segun Daudu, a former Commissioner of Youth and Sports in Lagos State, and Barrister Kolade Olutekumi, the General Secretary of the Lagos Lawn Tennis Club, with Barrister Daudu taking the better of his opponent. The high point of the occasion was the presentation of prizes to all the participants, with the first prize going to Barrister Segun Daudu. The second and third prizes went to Mr. Yomi Disu and Barrister Kolade Olutekumi respectively. After that, members of the club engaged in a flurry of photo and video sessions and exchange of pleasantries all the way. In his remarks at the occasion, the current president of the club, Barrister Sam Ebuchunam, thanked Chief Tunde Oremole for graciously bankrolling the tournament, while also enjoining other individuals and corporate concerns to sponsor future tournaments and other sports in the club. The president further briefed members on the achievements so far recorded by his administration since he assumed office about 2 years ago. He reeled out future plans being worked on to enhance the growth of the club. According to him, the current executive of the club has completed the refurbishment of most facilities of the club. Furthermore, the president informed members that the club now runs on 24-hour power supply, courtesy the magnanimity of the Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babatunde Raji Fashola. The president commended members of the Lagos Lawn Tennis Club for following the laid-down rules and regulations of the club, a development which he noted has resulted in no petition being written against any member. The president solicited for the continued cooperation of his fellow members with a view to taking the club to an unprecedented height of development in the nearest future. The annual general meeting AGM of the Lagos Lawn Tennis Club 1895, at which the annual report and accounts of the club for 2013, under the careful watch of the members of the executive committee, headed by the president, Barrister Sam Ebuchunam, was tendered before all members of the club on Friday, 30th May 2014. After the traditional preambles of reading of minutes of the previous meetings and motion moved for the adoption of the minutes, the 2013-2014 annual general meeting of the Lagos Lawn Tennis Club took off in earnest, with a financial report of stewardship of the year under review presented by the president, Barrister Sam Ebuchunam. The sad loss of distinguished members of the Lagos Lawn Tennis Club during the financial year under review was acknowledged formally by members of the club, who all collectively observed a minute's silence in their honor and prayed for the repose of their souls. The members lost include Chief Sonny Edokpolo, Mr. Deji Abiono, Alhaji Ademola Fireman Ali, and Mr. Mayowa Adekoya. In the president's address, he admitted that the year 2013 rolled off the ground in very difficult circumstances in terms of the scarce resources at the disposal of the club, vis-a-vis the urgent necessity to refurbish the cane infrastructure in the club and other containing services. According to him, the situation became more precarious with the ban placed on the rental of the tennis courts for parties, which was a steady and ready source of flow of revenue for the club. However, according to Barrister Sam Egbuchunam, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. The executive members put in place prudent and transparent deployment of funds generated to successfully refurbish and upgrade all the necessary infrastructure in the Lagos Lawn Tennis Club. This was done through direct labor, which also saved a lot of costs. In the financial year under review, a sum of 15 million naira was put into a fixed deposit account in May 2014, and this is expected to yield more revenue as the years go by. Members have also keyed into the new style of administration of the present executive led by Barrister Sam Egbuchunam, and this is anchored primarily on discipline and respect for the laid-down rules and regulations of the club. With this development, the era of petitions galore has gone forever in the scheme of things in the Lagos Lawn Tennis Club. Members are also given the good news of the branding of the club premises by the United Bank for Africa with all the good advantages. In the meantime, brewery giants, the Nigerian Breweries PLC, will take over Mama Calabar Restaurant to be redesignated the Heineken Bar. The Lagos Lawn Tennis Club will in due course this year join the ranks of the internationally reputed lawn tennis clubs. Impressed by the current state and standard of the club's facilities, the International Tennis Federation, ITF, has upgraded the Lagos Governors Cup competition to the ITF Challengers Series tournament. This takes effect from the next edition of the Governors Cup tournament. Clearly, another bold attestation to the efforts of the current executive of the club to reposition the club in tandem with its original international standard.
The last 1 year has been amazing, undoubtedly a test of the pragmatic and decisive leadership style of this administration. This regime took off with little or no resources. Yet, faced with the mountain of decaying infrastructure and the unfounded fear that this administration will fail without the inflow from revenue generated from weekly rental of a tennis court for parties. On the contrary, our vision, commitment, and passion for success were all that we needed to weather the financial storm, to the admiration of all and sundry. Please accept my most sincere thanks for your support and goodwill.
In the General Secretary, Barrister Kolade Olutekunbi's report, he further expatiated on other developments that took place in the financial year under review. It touched on the refurbishment of concrete floor of 8 courts in the club. The seats are also numbered. The walkway leading from the exit gates to the inner car park of the Lagos Lawn Tennis Club has been fitted with new light poles, and this has improved the ambience and security around the area. These days, the entire landscape of the Lagos Lawn Tennis Club has been given a most befitting facelift. According to the General Secretary, security in and around Lagos Tennis Club has been beefed up. He urged members to keep up the new spirit of bonding and brotherhood among one another, which he noted has been taken beyond the confines of the club as members now stand firmly with each other. This, Barrister Kolade Olutekunbi said, is the core essence of friendship and interaction, which social clubs like the Lagos Lawn Tennis Clubs are out to further engender.
In the period between our last annual general meeting, held on June 14, 2013 and today, the Executive Committee had continued in a dogged and persistent push towards unparalleled excellence in all aspects of LTC administration. This has been made possible by your support, criticism, advice, and encouragement, all of which the Executive Committee have managed to roll into one splendid package for the benefit of all our members and guests.
Also during the AGM, members of the club made contributions, suggested changes and improvement in certain aspects of the administration of the club by the current executive. However, by and large, a vote of confidence was passed on the Barrister Sam Ebuchenam-led executive committee members of the club.
Just to join others in commending the executive for the excellent job they've been doing in building the infrastructure, as well as making us financially viable. We sometimes have very important events like our gala night and AGMs like this, where you find that past presidents of this club, for whatever residual reasons they have, do not show up. I think you should try and reach out to them. I'm not saying if they don't want to come to the club, you should beg them to come. But it is important that anybody that has aspired and held this high office of being the president of this club should not behave in a way that seems to be that we are not encouraging the ideas of the founding fathers, which is fraternity, irrespective of the fact that you are not in office.
So I wish to commend the executive. You guys have done a great job. I did not regret voting for you people to run this office, and you've done a great job.
I want to speak on behalf of the coaches. All what I wanted to say before, all is here in the papers, so I don't want to say too much. I respect you. I commend you with your team. You have done a very good job with what we have seen now. But for the first time in the history of this club, I've been saying it before, Mr. President, please reverse that situation. The coaches, they need to play and teach people.
Before the AGM rose, the tenures of Chief Tunde Oremule and Captain Yemisi Allen, whose appointments as members of the Board of Trustees of the club were ratified at the last general meeting, were also unanimously approved for further extension.
And the two nominees are credible members of this club who have contributed immensely to the development of the business. Let's give honor to whom it is due. And on that note, I move that the appointment of the two nominees to fill the vacant seat of trustee be ratified.
Right.
The main highlight of the 2013-2014 AGM of the Lagos Lawn Tennis Club was the official dedication of the brand new bus for the use of the Lagos Lawn Tennis Club. This function was performed by retired Group Captain Ita David Ekpeme, former military governor of Ondo State, who is also a member of the Board of Trustees of the Lagos Lawn Tennis Club. As widely expected, in view of what was generally believed to be the very impressive performance of the outgoing executive members of the Lagos Lawn Tennis Club, led by Barrister Sam Ebuchenam, in the last financial year, they were unanimously returned unopposed for the third term of 1 year. However, as explained by the chairman of the Electoral Committee, new members were also co-opted to fill some vacant positions. The new members of the newly sworn-in Executive Committee of the Lagos Lawn Tennis Club include the Social Secretary, Mr. Kunle Oyekomi, who is a security expert, the Tennis Captain, Mr. Ade Ralph Olamife, Publicity Secretary, Mr. A.Y. Laja. In his remarks after the third term mandate was handed to the Barrister Sam Ebuchenam-led Executive Committee to continue steering the affairs of the Lagos Lawn Tennis Club, he pledged on behalf of all members that they will redouble their efforts and apply themselves assiduously to reposition the Lagos Lawn Tennis Club as a model for elite recreation clubs in Nigeria, in keeping with the original vision of the founding fathers of the club. He thanked all members who had supported the Executive Committee in the past 2 years and asked all members of the club to see the project of taking the Lagos Lawn Tennis Club to new heights as a task of every bona fide member.
I want to assure you that this mandate you have given us today will spur us more to do more than we have done before. If we have done anything in the past, my assurance is that we are going to double what we have done for the club. We have done a little bit of good work for the club. I don't need to go through what we've done because it's like we say, res issa loquitur. The fact speaks for itself. Everybody knows what this club have done till today. Suffice to say that we are not boasting that we have done anything. What we have done is a tip in the iceberg. Watch out and see where we are taking this club. God bless you all. Thank you very much.
The event ended in a convivial note with music supplied by the Dende Harrison Ebony Band.